Get yourself to okjersey.com, where you can buy all the best football shirts around, including the amazing vintage Spurs tops I wear on this channel. But I think the Spurs shirt you'll really want is, of course, the absolutely magnificent Tottenham 1901 FA Cup winners 125-year anniversary top, available in both short and long sleeve. And as if that wasn't enough, if you go onto their website and like the look of one of their shirts, choose your size, get your name and a number on the back, or the Champions League badge on the sleeve as well if you're that way inclined, then go to checkout, type the word BARN into the coupon section. That's BARN as in short for Barnaby, and when you do, you'll get 8% off your purchase. Get yourself to okjersey.com, or if you're too lazy to go to the website, just scan the QR code that's on the left of me throughout this video. Enjoy!
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for the Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Tottenham mega 6-pointer. How many 6-pointers have we had in a row now? 10, 15, haven't got a win yet. But I saw some signs against Brighton. Some signs that Roberto De Zerbi is trying to get us to play some football. And GoatX9_edits in the comments asks, Barn, what do you think the score will be? It's scary. I've had a few people texting me in the last few minutes saying Spurs will win. We're going to win there easily. Listen, Arsenal only drew at Wolves. Wolves beat Liverpool at home since Rob Edwards became their manager. This is not going to be easy as they flash to Vinay Venkatesham and Johan Langer in the crowd. There's nothing easy about the mud that Tottenham are in right now because everything is going against them. Look at even last night's result. Forest won 5-0 away at Sunderland, a team who beat us just the other week under De Zerbi. Matt Doherty is captain of Wolves today. So you asked me what the score will be. I'm going to go for 2-1 Tottenham Hotspur, but I don't know if that's hope more than expectation. But I did see signs under De Zerbi, the first signs we've seen for a long, long time, if you ask me. So that's what I'm basing that on. But I do think Udogie being injured is a big, big problem for us. How many times this season, last season, every season with Udogie has he picked up a muscular injury at the wrong time, and we are going to miss his balance. I've said this numerous times this season, numerous times. When we're forced to play with Jed Spence at left back, it makes us incredibly easy to press and defend against. Incredibly easy. So Wolves will be glad about that. But on the flip of that, and the positives, I did see signs from the likes of Basuma, Gallagher, Bentancur coming back last week that maybe we can control this game under De Zerbi and what he wants them to do. But it won't be easy as the players come out of the tunnel. It's going to be stressful. I've warned my flatmate, warned my partner. It's going to be stressful. There's going to be noise. There's going to be... Yeah, I was very, very animated last week. I didn't do a watch along last week, but I was very animated whilst watching the Brighton Spurs draw. But we did show some signs of some decent football. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Do give this video a like if you haven't already. More people, the more likes we get, the more people will hopefully click onto this watch along. I do realize I'm back on YouTube. I'll explain that. I've got kind of a proper job, 9 to 5 at the moment, and I'm moving to a new proper job in the next month or so. So I don't have as much time to do my content. So I'm going to be doing these watch-alongs on YouTube till the end of the season, just so I can keep my YouTube community active. And then I'm going to be doing kind of probably between, well, I'll tell you what, I'll be honest. I think it's more likely I'm going to find time to do Spurs videos every day if Spurs actually get a win. It's hard when you haven't won for, it'll be the anniversary, 4-month anniversary of Spurs winning in the Premier League in 3 days' time. So we need to really knock this off today. The Wolves team, Sarr in goal, Doherty, Bueno and Totti in what looks like a back three. Then in midfield, Lima, João Gomez, Andre and Bueno. So 3 Brazilians in that central midfield. Obviously, João Gomez has been on Spurs' list for a while. Apparently, Atletico Madrid are in talks for him. Then Mane and Gomez, 2 Portuguese just in front of them with Armstrong up front. 3-4-2-1, according to this broadcaster. The Spurs team, Kinski, Porro, Spence, Van der Ven and Danso. As I said, Spence coming in through Doggy. Then Bentancur, Basuma in the double pivot. Simons, Gallagher, and Kolo Muani keeps his spot. He's clearly a brilliant, brilliant player in training, Kolo Muani. I just hope for a few less kind of random flicks and tricks for him when no one's near him. I want him to just hold up the ball. And Solanke obviously playing in the 9 ahead of him. We are wearing the black kit today, so I'm wearing my black kit as well, which you can get from okjersey.com. Just go there and put Barn, B-A-R-N, in the checkout for 8% off. Let's go into some of your chat. Spurs Trek says, why has he picked that PSG reject again? Like I said, talking about Koulibaly there, he must be an incredible finish. I think he wants basically on the pitch his people who he thinks who thinks are going to finish it off if a chance comes his way. Also, I will say this: I love Matisse Tell, but on the right, he doesn't look as comfortable. That's for sure. George Randall says this is a major must-win game, or we'll be playing in the Championship next season. Eric says all or nothing today. Just Matt, thank you for your comments. Says this is today, do or die, must win. Otherwise, I can't see a way out. Well, certainly, and I'll be keeping across the West Ham score. I've got that on live score here. I certainly, if we lose and West Ham win today, it's against Everton at home. Very difficult to see a way out, that's for sure. Bill Beebe, thank you for your comments. Says, hi, Barnaby. This will be tough. Fingers crossed we'll win. And you're suggesting a 2-1 Spurs win. I hope you're right. Gary Riddell, hello, mate. Good to see you all the way over there in California. And you say, I'm going to keep the faith and say Spurs win. Chris says, must win. We'll get it. And Gary Riddell, I think you're a bit ahead of me. So I'm going to drop out of the comments because I've only got one feed here. So I'm going to be a little bit behind you guys. I'm going to drop out the comments for the first half. And I'll get back into the comments in the second at halftime. I'll just double check if there's a Wolves feed. Oh yeah, they're a bit ahead. Here we go. 35 seconds gone. All right, Spurs in possession, which I like. Nice sunny day as well, which I think is only a good thing. No wind. Spence driving down the left-hand side. Go on, take him on the outside. He was not expecting it. Drops it inside to Siemens. One touch around the corner. Back to Biss. Siemens comes back and keen to control this game. And I'm hopeful that under De Zerbi, with all the training he's been doing with them, they'll be able to, as Porro tries to dink one over the top, but there's a little bit much on it. Who was that chasing it? Colin Moani over the top there. And classically, straight away, my feed starts to buffer. There you go. There's an annoying shadow on the pitch. And it's Spurs kicking, by the way, from left to right in this half as Wolves win a throw-in on the left-hand side. And Rob Edwards telling his players, I'm on 1 minute 22 at the moment, by the way. Rob Edwards telling his players to press high, get into them. Spurs have to do what they did against Brighton last week and start on the front foot. And whenever Wolves have the ball, really just press to try and win it back as quickly as possible. As Siemens tries to win it in midfield, but ducks out of it a little bit, and Wolves get it wide right. And Wolves just putting their foot on the ball in the back three here. Spurs lining up with a kind of 4 starting to press. What Spurs need today is the kind of mistakes that happen against all the other teams in this relegation fight. We haven't had anyone make a mistake that's led to a goal for us. We need something to go in off someone's arse or something to happen. Spurs winner throwing on the right. De Zerbi's already out shouting at his men. Porro has the ball in his hands. Colin Moani making a little run for him down the line. Not much though. Gallagher could show. There he is. And he gets it. Gives it back to Porro, who plays a good ball into Solanke. Plays it back to Colin Moani, who tries to give it inside to Gallagher. But it's not a good pass and Wolves win it back and clear. Spurs second in midfield there, but Danso wins the one that's flicked over the head. Oh, and then Gallagher gets elbowed in the head. Gallagher, by the way, a player who's never missed a game injured for any club he's played until he came to Spurs, and all he gets now is endless elbows and injuries. Yeah, it's a point of the elbow into the temple. Deary me. From João Gomez. Anyway, this is a free kick for Spurs. It's not shootable, but it's midway inside the Wolves half. 99 of you watching at the moment. Thank you so much for your support. Do give this video a like. Do subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber to my channel. Porro standing over this free kick. It's probably about 15 to 20 yards inside the Wolves half, inside right position. Spurs have got all their big men, Van der Ven, Danso, Bentancur, Solanke at the back stick, looking for Porro to dink one up to that back stick. Wolves keeping their line on the 18-yard box. Come on. One arm up from Porro. Spurs players trying to duck in. First one. Header chance. Oh, my God. It's gone right across the front of the post. And Spurs want a penalty on Solanke. We win the first one. Looks like Solanke's offside anyway. And he's pushed in the back, but of course we won't get that. But that was a good free kick, good win. Oh, and now the Jose Sarr trying to get into the ear of the referee already. Yeah, so it was a good header across the box, I think, from Kolomwani at the back, and just no Spurs striker able to get it in. As Basuma's out nudged there, comes to Spence off Van der Ven, who comes down the line. Good work from Spence there. And he gets away from his man. Well done. And can Xavi pick it up? He can. Xavi driving down the left-hand side. He's got no one near him, though, and it's a heavy touch. That could be a foul. It should be a foul. Ref. And Spurs have played play on. Yeah. Xavi into Bentancur. Lovely ball from Bentancur into Spence. And he gives a corner. And he nudged Doherty there. And that's good refereeing because Doherty went down looking for a free kick. And I feel like referees are starting to get a little wise to fullbacks facing their own line who just dive on the floor. And usually they always get free kicks. And this time he didn't give it. So Spurs get a corner. That's good refereeing from Anthony Taylor. Xavi Simon's going to take this corner in front of the Spurs fans. Spurs, by my reckoning, have not scored from a corner for a long time, even though we've sacked 2 managers and managed to keep the same set piece coach because our early season set pieces were so profitable. Here comes the in-swing. No, he goes short with it. Out to Porro, who's got a good crossing chance. There it is at the back post. Keeper comes out, does well, Jose Sarr. And Bissouma comes to the right-hand side to pick this up. Needs some help. Goes backwards into Spence, I believe, who dinks one down the line to Gallagher. Tries to get his body in. Doesn't win it. And then it's well won by Solanke. Brilliant pressing from Solanke. Drops it into Bissouma. Takes a touch on it, Bissouma, as he always will. And comes back to Spence. Gives it short into Danso, just so he can get back in position. And now Spence gave it to Bissouma, who gives it to Bentancur, who comes across to Van der Ven. And again, just like we did against Brighton, or as Danso just lets the ball slip under his foot, Spurs have started this game more positively than we've seen most of it. Oh, good through ball. Solanke could be in here. Oh, and he was just pushed at the wrong time. Good defending, you'd have to say. Shoulders. But it was a good ball and a good run in behind from Solanke, keeping Wolves honest. So they moved to James Maddison on the subs bench, who this week, De Zerbi admits he's not ready to play and he's just there for the vibes. I mean, the thing about that I don't really understand is why can't he just be in the changing room, not on the bench for the vibes? Don't really understand that, I suppose. But anyway, I can see what De Zerbi's doing, trying to keep positivity throughout the squad as Sarr kind of flinches as he takes his goal kick. Danso beats his own man to the header. On a good little 1-2 there between Solanke and Gallagher, but doesn't quite make it. But Solanke wins it back. Now, can he find Kolomwani on the right? He does. It's a good ball. Now, take him on. And he does. Randall takes him on. He's in the box. Good defending. Good defending. Another corner for Spurs. That's where you want Kolomwani, in behind on the right-hand side. Xavi comes across to take this corner again. This will be an outswing if he delivers it first time. Or will they go for the short one to Porro again, which enabled Porro to get a good cross in from the last corner. Here he comes. He goes with the deep one this time, all the way to the back post. It's over Danso, and the ref sees a foul in the middle as well. A bit of a waste for Spurs. And Anthony Taylor having a go at Gallagher for having 2 arms around his man. Yeah, it's a waste. Did well to win that corner. Don't give away a silly free kick. Spurs fans biting their fingernails in the crowd. I'm hoping that by bringing the, if you can see it down there, the Night in Bilbao poster, it can bring us a little bit of luck today. Spurs have started this game well. First 8 minutes, they've been on top. They've had possession of the ball. They've done well in duels and 50-50s in midfield as well. And they've tried to get in behind a little bit. Long ball from Sarr, cleared by Porro into midfield. Solanke's had a good start, tries to win it. He's been working his socks off, as he always does, and winning some balls. And that's good. Xavi did press, and then Spence came with the second press, so Wolves had to go long. And then Mickey van der Ven comes through in midfield as well, but Wolves win the throw-in. Wolves go long. And Armstrong holds it up well. Danso stays with him. Armstrong keeps the ball and goes backwards towards his own halfway line. And Wolves recycle the ball on halfway. Comes out to the left-hand side to Bueno. Breno, another player who rumoured to be on Spurs' list in the summer, but of course, that is only if Spurs stay in the Premier League. Good tackle there from Conor Gallagher on the front foot. Gives it to Colomwani. Oh, unfortunately, Porro gives it away. And then a good ball into Armstrong. But Wolves will miss it in halfway. And Xavi Simon, beats his man once. Then holds it up and does well. Brilliant from Xavi. Showed a bit more physicality there in midfield. Love that. Gives it to Basuma. Comes right to Porro. And Spurs play keep ball. Danso to Van der Ven. He has Spence outside him. Bentancur trying to give him an option. Xavi gives him an option. Then his first time past Xavi was not good into an absolute space, but Porro is able to pick it up. And the commentator says Spurs not playing like a team under pressure. There's some truth to that, but also Spurs' big problem is adversity. And obviously there's no adversity as in we aren't 1-0 down yet. Or we haven't been equalised against. 10 minutes gone, but it has been a good controlled start for Spurs. Porro puts his foot on it, gives it back to Danso, who has to go back to Kinski for what strikes me as one of his only touches here, Antonin Kinski, just outside his box, gives it into Basuma, bounce pass back to Danso. That shows the confidence of Kinski with the ball at his feet, and Danso plays a good ball across to Van der Ven in front of him. He goes wide of himself to Bentancur, who goes to left-hand side and Spence. Draws his man, gives it back to Rodrigo Bentancur, who plays the ball between the lines. Unfortunately, that's missed out and Wolves win it back. But then a terrible ball to Colomwani. This is a good chance for Spurs. Driving into the box. And Colomwani has taken an early shot, and I do not know why. He had so much more time. And it goes wide. He's got Gallagher running outside, and maybe, yeah, he could have. It's actually not the worst strike, but it's just wide. Efan Okoku on co-commentary saying he thinks De Zerbi is subdued on the bench. That's getting his narrative in early there, the co-commentator. There is definitely a truth, I think, to the fact that everybody kind of who isn't Spurs wants Spurs to go down. They love this story. They love this narrative. Similar to, how everyone wanted Leicester to win the league 10 years ago. They're desperate for this story. Well done. Spurs win it high on the right. And Gallagher helps out. Needs help. Oh, brilliant. Finds Colomwani well. Colomwani gets across to Xavi. He's surrounded by men, but he gets it out to Spence, who's now one-on-one on the left-hand side. Driving into the box. It's going to have a dig here, Spence. Why not? It's blocked. Then it hits the ref. The ref can just play on here. Oh, my God. The ref can play on because Spurs have the ball and it had just been cleared, but he brings it back. Anyway, Spence has his shot and it's blocked. He was just aiming for the far corner and the ball was coming straight to Xavi. He does give it back to Xavi Simons at least. Okay, Spurs have it. Still in the Wolves half. Gives it inside to Bentancur. Goes backwards to Danso. For some reason, there's something less annoying about when Bentancur passes it backwards than when Palhinha does when he's on the pitch. Anyway, comes wide to Colomwani. Plays a great ball into Porro in the box. Great cross. Brilliant football from Spurs. To be fair to Wolves, and of course, it's Matt Doherty. Great defending. Otherwise, a definite goal. Great football, Spurs. 13 minutes gone. Colomwani finds Porro with a great run in the right side of the box. Early cross. Maybe the keeper would have got it. It's a corner. Again, Xavi on the corner. Don't give away any silly free kicks here. They go for the deeper one again. Oh, actually, it comes to the edge of the box. So that's fucking annoying. We go for basically the David Beckham Paul Scholes cross to corner to Porro on the edge of the box. I don't think you want to be doing this really when you're looking to win a vital must-win game. As Wolves break here actually, and they've got men forward somehow. Spurs stuck in front of the ball here, and they're in wide left here with Bueno. Wolves first time cross, and it goes all the way through. That's the first time Wolves have got in the box, and it goes out the other side for a Spurs throw. But yes, the corner, a bit embarrassing, going for the Beckham skulls, comes to Porro, and there's no way he should volley it on the edge of the box because it comes kind of mid-height to him, and he does try and volley, and it goes miles over the bar. And Wolves broke. Spurs get the ball back down now. Spurs have 65% possession so far. It's on goal. Bissouma now brings it forward, goes out wide left to Spence, who of course can only really take it on his right foot, so it's always going to come back this way. What Spence could do with doing is just taking one drive down the left, surprising his opponent. Good ball from Porro up to Colomwani in the hole from the right, and it's cleared by Wolves. But that little ball from Porro that he's trying to do a couple of times, or tried to do a couple of times already, that makes the Wolves defence think, because it makes them worry about the space in behind them. Spence now on the ball. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Drive down the left, Jed, and he does. And he gets in the box, and Wolves have to clear it. But that's what I'm talking about, putting different ideas in the Wolves' defence's minds. I like that from Jed Spence. Good lad. 15 minutes gone. Wolves 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. But Spurs trying to make things happen. Van der Ven comes across to Danso. He's got Porro. Porro's playing a lot more inverted for Spurs than he did under Thomas Frank or Igor Tudor. Bissouma plays it inside to Simons, who drops it off to Bentancur, gives it back to Simons, who comes to Van der Ven, who comes to Porro. A bit of a lazy pass from Van der Ven because it's just behind Porro, which frustrates me. Gallagher comes to help, and he gives it out wide to Colomwani, who takes his man on, and he beats his man. Now, can he get the crossing? He's at the byline. Well done, Randall Colomwani. It's a corner. It should be a corner. It's not. It's a goal kick. But the good start from Colomwani. Unlucky there to give away a goal kick. Spurs fans singing "We Are Tottenham, Super Tottenham," trying to get behind their boys. Sarr goes long into midfield. Bentancur gets a head on it. Porro clears it down the line. Does well, actually. And then Colomwani was going for it. But it's Solanke actually going for it. Sorry, it was in the shadow. Goes on the floor, but nothing given by the keeper, by the referee, sorry. And a great break. Great bit of midfield play from Wolves, but actually Bentancur comes back in and wins it back, gives it to Porro. Back to Bentancur, back to Porro, who again tries a little dink down the line to Colomwani. He comes inside. He needs help. And that's, oh my God, dealt with by Wolves, and they get a throw in again. I don't know why. But it's good to see Porro and Colomwani trying to make things happen down the right-hand side. Not a surprise, I guess, considering the lack of balance we've got on the left with two right-footers on the left-hand side today. Wolves throw it long down the line. Danso wins the first one. And, Colomwani actually won the second one. And then I think it was Bentancur trying to play a ball inside to Simons, but just didn't find him. And as a result, Wolves back on the ball with their left-sided centre-half, who gets away easily from Colomwani and Bentancur. And he breaks forward and plays it into midfield. It's a good play from Wolves here. But Spurs do well to get back in. Solanke looks like it's going to give away a free kick. They play on. Bueno now on the left. Wolves just getting a little bit of possession. 18 minutes in, still 0-0. Oh, too easy for Wolves to turn there. And Bissouma bizarrely kind of allowed a passing lane in. And then Colomwani bizarrely allows Bueno to get on the ball, but actually does well. And Colomwani, an unnecessary trick, but it works for once. Porro gives it to Bissouma. Spurs just playing silly buggers here, but they get themselves out of it with Porro and find Simons. And actually, that was me being scared, but it's allowed Spurs to break the press. And Simons drives forward. He's got to wait. He's got to wait. He didn't wait. He played it too early for Spence. You've got to know, I'm sorry, especially as a number 10 attacking midfield, you've got to know the pace of the player that you're passing to. And you know that Jed Spence isn't quick enough for that through ball. That was a little bit frustrating. Simons, and actually, he would have done better to just wait. And the game is starting to open up a little bit. Wolves have it now on the left-hand side. That's it. Xavi Simons trying to leave the press, but Spence didn't go with him. Spence stuck in no man's land there, and so Wolves finding it easy to pass it around. And then Bissouma comes in to tackle a 50-50, and he was a little light-footed, but he's fortunate it bounced off the Wolves player, and that's a Spurs throw. 19 and a half minutes gone. Wolves 0, Spurs 0. Spence throws it into Bentancur. Back to Spence, gives it to Simons, who finds it back to Bissouma, who finds Bentancur, can open it out. It comes to Danso, who's got Porro outside him. And he doesn't. He misses Porro actually and goes straight to Kolomwani, who I would have thought will pop it to Porro, and he does. Danso. It's a bit of a chess match at the moment. Bissouma on the ball. Finds Simons, who could maybe have taken it on the half turn, but he goes back to Bissouma. Bissouma into Solanke. Again, some space for Bis. Gives it to Spence. And again, that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about there. They know that they can just sit on Spence's left foot. He has to turn away, and therefore Wolves able to clear. Fortunately, there was no one down the line for Wolves, so it came back to Kinski, gives it to Van der Ven, and Bissouma gives him an option. Bissouma tries something new down the line, and that goes straight out in the corner. Spurs will be able to press them high up here, but poor decision from Spence there. De Zerbi looking quite passive on the sidelines, 20 minutes in. And Wolves have stolen 7 or 8 yards here. This is a fucking joke. They take their throw. Comes to Van der Ven, gets a foot on it, drops it over to Spence, gives it inside to Bissouma, gives it to Bentancur, who plays a horrible ball straight to Wolves somehow, but Bentancur wins it back well. And then back to Kinski. He's going to put his foot on it, but he goes first time to Van der Ven on the left. That's good from Antonin. Drops it into Spence. He gives it to Simons. Goes back to Van der Ven. Spurs start again this time, bring it to the right. Danso driving forward a little bit. He's got Porro outside him, but he goes to Gallagher, pops it around the corner to Porro, who will have Gallagher behind him again and gives it to him. Now, can Gallagher pull out a big diag? He was tempted, but he didn't get the ball out of his feet. So he goes back to Danso, to Van der Ven, who has Bissouma in the little half space on the left, which is a position that Spurs under De Zerbi have as Simons finds Kolomwani. Goes for the early cross. Cleared from Wolves. They've got a second clearance down the line. Spurs have a throw-in. Gallagher looking to take the throw-in quickly. Bentancur getting too close to him, and then eventually Gallagher does throw it back to Danso, who just opens it to Van der Ven. Van der Ven goes early. The co-commentator, Efnakirk, who's saying the home fans seem quite subdued. Here's Spence on the left. He beats his man inside, then nearly loses it, gets it back from Bissouma quite luckily. Comes back to Danso. Porro. It's got Gallagher, and yes, good little ball into Gallagher. He's showing well. Now, Gallagher tempted to get across him, but just drives a little bit and then pops it back to Porro. Oh, and Porro tried to go between the lines, but actually it's worked out. Simons gives it into Kolomwani, but it's good defending from Wolves. And it looked like the ref wanted to give a free kick, but he doesn't. Oh, and then Spurs had a chance to put a through ball. And that's a handball there, not given. And Wolves do well. And actually, he's found a man there really well, Armstrong. And Wolves put their foot on the ball. They dealt with that quite well there, Wolves. And they open it out, and Simons is very narrow, so Doherty's able to bring it forward. But, well, it looked like he'd overhit that, but it's actually played in. Van der Ven's got to be careful not to give away a free kick. He doesn't. He gives away a throw-in instead. 22 minutes gone. Wolves 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0 at Molineux. Wolves taking their time over this throw. Bissouma gets a foot in, and Solanke does really well, and they open it out to Gallagher. He gives it back to Solanke, who kind of slows it down, and he wins a free kick. He was pushed off the ball there. And Spurs, are they going to try and do it quickly? They do try and do it quickly, or they look to. But in the end, they just put their foot on it and go short to Bentancur, who opens it out to Danso, who's got Porro with him. Gives it to Pedro Porro in that little inside right half space. Pops it inside to Bentancur. Opens it out to Kolomwani. Bentancur offering a little run. But Wolves had that covered. And this comes back to Danso, who goes across to Van der Ven. Van der Ven opens it out to Yves Bissouma. Drops it inside to Xavi Simons in central midfield. Goes outside Danso to Porro. This is what I love about playing under De Zerbi so much more than any of the other managers. Spurs have players near them all the time, so there are options. Something that for how much of this season we just didn't see. Danso to Van de Ven, to Bissouma in that left half space. Lovely ball in the between the lines to Solanke. Simons manages to keep it, gives it to Bentancur, gives it back to Bissouma. Wolves are working hard off the ball, to be fair. So Spurs just having to move it around. But Danso now opens it out to Kolomwani on the right. He goes down the line to Porro, who goes down the line to Kolomwani again. But the Wolves man picks it off and clears it down the line. But Danso gets his foot on it first, gives it to Porro. It might have been Gallagher. It's hard to see in the shadow. And then a terrible crossfield ball from Spurs. And actually, Bissouma and Spence. Bissouma had to slide to keep that on, but they managed to keep it. And now Van de Ven has it. And we'll go back to, or across to Big Kev Danso. Puts his foot on it and goes back to Kinski in his own box. And Kinski will give it simply to Bissouma in that inside left position. He can just drive forward 5 yards there, but he doesn't. Gives it to Spence. Gets it back. Now into Simons in between the lines. He pops it off to Bentancur. Goes first time with his left foot across to Porro. Just manages to keep it on. Gives it to Kolomwani, who is fouled. And Wolves starting to get a little frustrated with Spurs. Make some fouls because we're moving them around a lot. Yeah, it's a foul. And Spurs have taken it already. Van de Ven has the ball at his feet. Into Bissouma. Van de Ven finds Porro. So Spurs have had a lot of possession. They had a few shots on goal early in the game, but since then it's been a lot of possession and really just all of it mostly in front and to the sides of Wolves, which I guess is probably what they'll be happy with, Wolves. So it comes wide to Kolomwani again, but he just doesn't have Gallagher on the same wavelength. But Porro keeps the press up and forces them all the way back to their keeper. Sarr goes to the right. And a bit of a half press there from Xavi Simons. And Van de Ven in the challenge on halfway gives away a throw-in. "26 minutes gone, still 0-0. Wolves have the ball in central midfield. Pop one in down the channel. And Adam Armstrong, he loves running the channels. He does well. And actually, that is the first corner for Wolves as Danso comes across. And he's upset with his teammates for letting that ball come down the channel so easily. But I haven't made a note of anything that's happened for 10 minutes here. And that shows that Spurs have had a lot of possession, but without really doing any damage. I wouldn't say there's a lack of tempo. Maybe that would be a bit harsh, but there's just a little bit of a kind of training game feeding to it. And I can promise you this, A, is not a training game. And B, you know, if we were to concede, for instance, from this corner, then Spurs, who are not great in adversity, would be in real trouble. And it would be very, very Premier League to have all of the game and then concede the first time pretty much they get into their box. They take the corner short. Then they come to the edge of the box. Cross comes in. It's a bit high. Oh, and it comes to a shot. Oh, it's a great block from Solanke. It stops the shot, which was from a very wide angle. But he does really well, Dom Solanke. Oh, and then he loses it out wide. What are you doing, Dom? Oh, my words. From hero to zero. That's a... Deary me, Spurs. It's another corner. It's going to be an in-swinger this time, I think. Here it comes. Cleared at the front by Dom Solanke. Second ball to clear for Xavi. And it's pretty much an air shot. He's lucky it goes to Kolomwani. Don't be too stupid with this. And Spurs do clear it. And it's up towards Kolomwani to get some pace on. Sarr is outside of his box. Oh, and Sarr. Wow, Sarr has just played it back to himself in his own box. Pretty brave, but he did it. Took a touch under the pressure from Kolomwani. And Sarr throws it out. Bentancur tries to put a press on. He wants his mates to come with him. And I'm not sure they all really did there. Spurs are a little bit reticent to put a full press on here, which I think they should probably do based on how well they did against Brighton. But anyway, Wolves play a long ball into the channel again for Armstrong, who, like I said, loves chasing the channels. But that one goes off out of play on the left-hand side. Thanks to those of you watching, guys. Do give this video a like if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel. Rob Armstrong. That's not his name, is it? Rob Edwards on the sidelines. Very animated. Porro with the throw. Gets it back. Then crosses the pitch to Spence, who looks very laissez-faire. And goes back to Kinski, who clears it with his left foot. He's a much better kicker with both feet than Vicario. And the pressure that Solanke has put on means Wolves give it to Bentancur. And Xavi Simons in the half space. He finds Solanke on the left-hand side. Spurs need to get some bodies in the box here. Solanke driving at the byline, driving at Matt Doherty. No one really in the box. Finds Bentancur, touches it off to Xavi, but he's absolutely closed off there. Xavi gets it back, though. Oh, and his shot is wide. Didn't get hold of it, unfortunately. Yeah, just he was stretching. Once again, they show in the crowd Vinay and Johan Lang. Tweedledum and Tweedledee, dearie me. Half an hour gone. Wolves 0, Spurs 0. Pressure, pressure, pressure rising. Sarr with the long kick goes over the top of Bissouma. Bentancur gets his foot in well. Turns beautifully. God, we've missed that from Rodrigo Bentancur. Just keeps the ball under pressure and opens it out to Spence, who starts driving forward. I don't mind this from Spence every time. Drive forward. Beats his man on the inside. Well done, Jed. Now find a good pass. There we go. Find Porro. Well done, Jed Spence. Comes to Porro on the right-hand side. Goes outside him to Kolo Muani. Oh, and Kolo Muani for the second time. It's like you can't do the easy thing, Kolo Muani. Just gives the ball away so poorly. Oh, and the Brazilian, I assume, yeah, it's Jack Gomez, does really well in central midfield to keep it for Wolves. Pops it off, but Spurs win it back with Porro. Well done. Into Bentancur. Finds Simons. Takes it on the half-turn. He's totally on his own, though, Xavi, and that's a foul. Oh, my God. Refs do not give fouls against Xavi Simons. It's completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. That is like just an unbelievable foul, and he's trying to suggest that Xavi dived, and it's such a joke. So Xavi driving forward. Oh my God, it's just such a foul. Comes to Porro. Gives it into Bissouma, puts his foot on it. Keeps the ball well. Gives it back to Van der Ven. Wolves just trying to put a little bit of a press on here. Comes to Danso on the right. Gives it into Bentancur. Pops it inside to Porro. And he's got Van der Ven free. And Spurs deal with it quite well. My God, do we miss players like Madison and Kulusevski, though, who can provide a little magic in these circumstances. But anyway, Bentancur started well. Gives it into Danso. Pops it to Porro. Goes all the way back to Kinski, who will give it short to Van der Ven, about 15 yards, maybe a bit more, 20 yards inside our own half. Van der Ven to Danso. There's been a lot of Spurs play here. It's been very tidy, but we're not cutting them open. Gallagher makes a little run for him, gives it inside to Kolo Muani. Now, can you hold it up this time? He does. Gives it to Bentancur, who has to turn on it. Turns on it twice and opens it up. Can he go outside of his boot? No, he just threatens to left foot it, then beats the man, gives it to Bissouma, who finds a good ball out wide to Spence now, who's in the box. Bit of a heavy touch, gives it back to Bissouma. It's on his wrong side, though. Bissouma comes inside to Xavi. His first touch is heavy, so it comes backwards to Danso outside the box. He was tempted to have a shot, but he opens it up to Porro instead. Takes a touch. Cross is deflected in the air. Comes to Gallagher in the box. Comes to Porro. Puts a volley into the box. Bentancur wins it back. Goes to Van der Ven, who should just get it out wide to Bissouma, and does. Spencer's made a run for him. Bissouma tries to beat the man, but he can't. And that's a Spurs throw. Oh, and the Wolves player stays on the ground. He's trying to get someone sent off, I would think. The way that players try and get their opposition sent off now it's never been worse because of VAR. So here's what happens. Bissouma is challenging for the ball. What the... oh, my God. It's not even... I give up, honestly. Fucking embarrassing from Gomez. Trying to get his man sent off. 33 minutes gone. Van der Ven opens it up to Porro. Gallagher made a good show for him there, but it comes to Kolo Muani. So he's got Gallagher near him. Oh, my God. And for the third time, Kolo Muani just gives the ball away. But Gallagher is chased and won it back. And he's at the byline. Can he get a cross in? Struggle to, but it comes to the near post to Solanke. Needs help. And he fouls his man. What is Kolo Muani doing? And they're showing Robert Plant / Jimmy Page in the crowd. One of Led Zepp. Not quite sure which one's which. Oh, good win from Jed Spence. But he should have given the ball easy and he's given it away instead, unfortunately. But pressure on Wolves, who have to clear up in the air down the line. Armstrong works. Van der Ven wins the throw. Does well. I thought he'd given away a throw there, Van der Ven. But he hasn't. 35 minutes gone. Spurs. If this was a Spurs game with no pressure on it, or if this was, if we were playing against a team who are playing like Spurs are today, I'd be like, oh, we're definitely going to lose this game because Spurs they have full control of this game. But we're not cutting them open, making really good chances. And there is just some really lazy passing going on, especially from Kolumwani, but that time it was actually Pedro Porro. We're not cutting them open, and therefore probably Wolves will go in at the moment if it stays like this, saying, oh, we've achieved what we wanted to achieve, just keeping it tight, frustrating them. They're the ones who need to win this. Wolves already relegated, of course. And like I said at the beginning, don't forget, Arsenal drew here, Liverpool lost here. So there's nothing simple about this as Wolves clear it down the line. Bentancur got his foot on it, but it bounces to Wolves and they're able to come down the right with Matt Doherty. Goes inside. Not a great pass, but João Gomez deals with it. Always seems to play well with us. Finds Bueno on the left. My hunch is that Roberto De Zerbi will want a little bit more fight, by which I mean tempo. And they play a good ball now into the box for Armstrong. Van der Ven dealing with him, pushes him outside the box, and it's offside anyway. I think he'll want a little bit more tempo, a little bit more oomph about it. Like, it's good that we haven't given away many chances, of course. But I think he'll just want a little bit more in terms of making chances, creating. But Spurs not blessed with that many creative players, really. Like, it's only Xavi on the pitch, and he's had a so-so, I'd say 6 out of 10 at the moment, Xavi Simons. And oh my God, Dominic Solanke is holding his hamstring. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. So Richarlison, surely. Might not be the worst thing. Yeah, he's coming on. Can you fucking believe this? Oh my God. We're going down. I mean, how can you just... It's been 14 injuries. Well, they're showing a clip from West Ham Everton here. It's been 14 injuries, 9 of which, for about 80% of the season, 9 of which have been genuine first-teamers. And whenever anyone comes back, they then get injured again. It's just embarrassing. Like, anyway, at least De Zerbi gets a chance to speak to his men. Can you fucking believe how many injuries we get? Well, the only positive I can think of Richarlison coming on for Solanke is that Richarlison has experienced all this at Everton, and he was brilliant for Everton in their relegation battles. instructions before he comes on. This will be a concern not just for Tottenham Hotspur and their desperate scramble against relegation, but it will prick the attention of Thomas Tuchel and those other England strikers who are hinting to be the lead support should Harry Kane. So Solanke hobbling off just every time. Come on then, Rishi. Maybe we need his type of annoyance on this pitch. Bit of drive, bit of tempo. Yeah, the commentator says the latest chapter in a wretched, wretched run of Tottenham injuries. You honestly, of course we're going fucking down. Going down because we've had fucking 14, 15 injuries, 10 first teamers the whole season. Anyway, come on. Come on, Spurs. I'm manifesting positivity. Kinski goes long for the first time up to Richarlison, makes him challenge for it. Well done, Rishi. Second ball won by Gallagher. Good stuff. Colin with a good touch inside to Xavi. Gives it into Rishi, who dawdles on it, unfortunately, and loses it. Gomez having a good game. Fuck's sake. Oh, good challenge in there from Gallagher, I think it was. And then I think it's Porro's trying to find Richarlison too early. We've lost it again. Wolves come down the left-hand side. Porro clears it. 40 minutes gone, but there will be some added because of that Solanke injury. Koku on Kokom's talking about it being a lukewarm atmosphere, which suits Spurs, but we're not really doing anything to up our own tempo. That's the problem. Kind of really playing at training ground pace here, Tottenham. Just almost playing as if there's a confidence that they will score and will win, but I'm not exactly sure where that confidence comes from because we haven't won a game for 4 months. Bentancur comes in. Bentancur is the one player who, for me, has been, showing the intensity required. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. I'm going to go into those comments at half time. Wolves do well to keep the ball down the left-hand side. Armstrong does well. It's a bit easy here. He's coming into the box and Danto gets his foot on it. Porro clears it to Xavi and Bentancur puts his foot on it and he gets away with it there. Rodrigo, Jesus. Danto will clear this down the line and does. But Wolves get the first ball. Yeah, Bueno now gets it out wide left. Oh, Mane does well, just beats Gallagher far too easily there and goes to beat Porro down the line, but it's given as a corner. Didn't think that was a corner at all, and nor did Pedro Porro. Or maybe Pedro Porro felt that was a foul on him. It's hard to see because it's in the shadow, but it's the third corner of the game, I think, for Wolves. This will be an in-swinger. You know why I'm shaking my head. Here it comes. Flicked at the front post. And Spurs get away with one. Goes all the way through. Armstrong, he's such a busy little player. Loves running the channels. Loves getting to the front post. He just flicked it on there. And there was no one coming in off the back post, fortunately for Spurs. Into the 43rd minute. Still Wolves 0, Spurs 0. Kinski just trying to draw the press. Eventually passes it into Danso. Who gives it into Bentancur. Keeps the ball, goes back to Danso, who has to go back to Kinski. He's got Van de Ven with him, but just puts his foot on it. Tempted to do a little chipped ball. He plays a good ball between the lines of Bentancur. That was good from Kinski and good from Bentancur and Spurs as a result. Just break that little first line, but it's Danso on it. And he does well with something different there. A little chip ball across to Xavi Simons on the left-hand side. He comes inside to Bentancur. You can see how much these Spurs players enjoy being able to play a bit of football more under De Zerbi. But again, as ever, all season, as Danso plays a poor ball behind Van de Ven, who has to chase it. It's a real lack of creativity and guile that is Tottenham's big problem here. Van de Ven putting his foot on the ball, drawing the Wolves to come towards him. Has to go back to Kinski, who opens it out to Danto. He's got Porro near him, gives it to Pedro in the shadow. He beats his man on the inside. It wasn't Pedro Porro, actually. It's Gallagher, I think, who gives it to Porro, who straight away after all of that just plays a big crossfield ball behind Van de Ven. Puts his foot on it. But Wolves in a very tight, narrow shape. Some of the passing from Spurs is so lazy behind their teammates. I think that comes from, lazy is the wrong word. It comes from a lack of confidence, probably. Koulibaly pops it off first time to Porro. Tries to get the cross in. Deflected straight into Jose Sarr's hands. Poor. Yeah, and the commentator just saying how Jose Sarr has not been tested in the first half. And he tries to kick it long, but it comes all the way to Kinski. Brings it out of his box and finds Danso. It goes in between the lines to Bentancur, opens it onto his left foot and gives it into Xavi Simons. Will cross the halfway line. Gives it to Spence. Tries to beat his man on the inside and fails. And his man goes down the line, but easily comes to Van der Ven, who starts again with Xavi Simons. There's a lack of movement from Spurs off the ball a little bit here. They're just being drawn into a bit of a malaise, I think. Gallagher is trying to make things happen. He opens it out to Kolo Muani, comes inside, tries to beat his man, gets a little 1-2, but a poor return pass from Porro, who is then nutmegged. But Gallagher goes in hard. That was good to see. And Wolves have to go long. Danso wins the header, and it comes into Porro. Porro just kicks it off for a goal kick. Spurs, you can see almost like the confidence that was there more at the beginning of the game is just running out, and De Zerbi is getting more and more wound up here. And anyone who thought this game would be easy, being shown exactly why it's not, because once again, as many times this season, finding it impossible to unlock a narrow, well-drilled shape that they're playing against. In this case, a 3-4-2-1. And although Wolves haven't cut us open either, you know, it is a stalemate and a kind of training ground-esque stalemate as Bentancur wins one. Richarlison tries to get his foot on it, or nearly beats his man to the second ball. Rishi working hard. Wouldn't surprise me if Richarlison's hamstring goes in this game as well, because that's Spurs. And long ball. Oh, and Porro didn't really even challenge for that, and Bueno wins it, but Gallagher gets his body in really well. He's had a good game here, Conor Gallagher. Bentancur gives it to Basuma, who does well. And just doing one too many. Basuma keeps the ball. And it's half-time at West Ham, 0-0. Out to Jed Spence, who gets it down the line to Simons, gives it back to Jed Spence, needs an option. Loses the ball there, Jed Spence. Twice. Xavi Simons working hard. And the ref does well there to wave an attempted dive off. And then Spurs, Basuma just tries to do something. He's an idiot. He's won it back, has he, Basuma? Oh, fucking two-footed tackle from the Wolves player here. This could be red here. This could be the luck that Spurs need. It looked like a two-footed challenge to me. It looked like a two-footed challenge. Basuma stayed down. I think he was going to get up, but he realised what's happened. Is it 2 feet? Yes, it's 2 feet. That's got to be red. That has to be red. That has to be a red card. It's a two-footed tackle. It's a two-footed tackle. Efenakoku trying to say he slipped. It's a two-footed tackle. Oh, he's got a yellow card. He's shown a yellow card. Why does he get away? He didn't slip. He doesn't slip. He doesn't slip. It's a fucking two-footed tackle. And their manager knows it. Oh my fucking God. My fucking God. Are you fucking... Are you trying to tell me if that wasn't a Spurs player, it wouldn't be a red card? Two-footed tackle. Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. Wow. Everything against us. I said it earlier. Everything against us. Everyone desperate to make this fucking relegation happen. You cannot defend that. Defend that in the comments somehow. Anyone who thinks that's not a red card. He's fucking still down. Solanke's already off with an injury. And he's cleared out his ankles with a two-footed tackle. And Efenakoku on Kokoms, who of course is desperate for Spurs to go down, says, oh, he slipped. He didn't slip. Fucking shocking. Fucking shocking. Even their manager had his head on his hands because he saw exactly what happened. I honestly cannot believe that. He didn't get any of the ball. Fucking Okoku trying to say he got some of the ball. He got none of the ball. He was nowhere near the fucking ball. Fucking unbelievable. Can you fucking believe that? We're in the 50th minute of 3 added minutes, and Wolves should be down to 10 men. I cannot find a way to defend that. Later in this game, he'll give someone a yellow card for time wasting or something. And what? That's the same as a 2-footed challenge, ankle high. Spurs have taken the free kick. They've gone short. Wolves fan booing because they think the time should be up. When it's literally because he just put in a 2-footed tackle. Porro puts a cross in. Cleared. Comes to the left-hand side. Spence opens it out to Bentancur, who takes too heavy a touch. And the ref gives a fucking throw into Wolves. And that's half-time. Fucking shameful. I just... Let's go and see what you guys are saying in the chat. GB says, red all day. However, it's okay, utter shite. JK says, where is VAR? They did go to VAR. Snapshot Daily says, definitely red. Gary Riddell says, if any Spurs player did that, he would be off. Absolutely. VJ agrees. Romero would get a red. Just Spurs Trek says, should have been a red and might upgrade the yellow, but he didn't, unfortunately. Then a lot of people saying what a terrible watch the game is. It is definitely at half pace. Yo-Yo says, zero attack, zero confidence. Carbonite says, officials have been paid again with a brown envelope from someone. This is absolutely ridiculous. Just Matt says, an okay half, but we have to be critical in such a key game. We need to take more risks in the final third. Look at Xavi taking risks last week. Also, a clear red card for any other team than Spurs. I'm just going to go on Twitter and see what people are saying about that. I just cannot see how that's not a red card. I can't understand it. I'll get into it later. Just shocking. Russell Brooks says, no shot on goal. Terrible. And Eugene says, again, Pedro Porro makes me pull my hair out. Yeah, but equally, he's probably one of the only players who can create or score a goal. I'll quickly go through some of the notes I made in that half. Roberto says, not a single shot on target, regardless of the red or not red. This simply isn't good enough. 3rd minute, Spurs wanted a pen after, actually, it was a pretty good free kick to the back post. Kolomwani headed it across the box and Solanke was rushing in, but he was pushed over, nothing given, obviously. 7th minute, Kolomwani getting in behind a couple of times. We'd won 2 corners at that point. Kolomwani had a big chance in the 11th minute, but he hit it, I think, a bit too early. Gallagher was just going to make a run outside him that maybe he could have found him, but he shot it. He got a lot of power on it, but it went wide. 13th minute, great stuff from Spurs. Kolomwani to Porro, cross cleared by Doherty. Yeah, it was a decent cross across the front. 13th minute, corner to Porro, volleyed over. That was poor. They were trying to recreate the old school David Beckham to Paul Scholes volley. I think, what was that, at Bradford, if memory serves. 13th minute, Wolves then broke, actually dangerous, and they had their cross that went through everyone. They've got in our box a couple of times, but never really had a shot on Kinski. 16th minute, I made a note to say Kolomwani beat his man again. He'd started well, but he really dropped off after that. Passed the ball to nobody 4 times. 27th minute, Solanke blocked a shot. It was an important block, actually, as a corner broke for a volley, but then tried to do something too clever, lost the ball, and Wolves got to the byline again, but nothing happened. 29th minute, Xavi had a shot that went wide. He was kind of stretching for it. 31st minute, I made a note to say Xavi beat his man, was taken out, not a foul, a foul not given by the ref again. Like, refs just desperate not to give Xavi Simons fouls. 34th minute is where I've made the note about Kolomwani's awful passing. He's given it away 3 times. 37th minute, of course, inevitable injury for Spurs. Solanke goes off, Richarlison comes on, and then 47th minute, 2-footed tackle from Andre Basuma down. Should have been a red card, wasn't. And I'm telling you, I know everyone's very upset that Spurs haven't had a shot on target and have just been moving the ball around and controlling the game, and there's some truth to that, but we are controlling the game, so Wolves hopefully will get tired in the second half. But in games at the top level, elite games, you need things to go for you a little bit, a bit of luck, and that's not even luck, that red card. That's not even luck. That's a 2-footed challenge. And I cannot understand for the life of me how that has not been given. And these things happen against Spurs all the time when it looks like it's a 50-50, and this isn't even a 50-50. Gary Riddell says, as long as West Ham don't win, this is not a must-win game. I'm going to go and look at the stats of the West Ham game. It's 0-0. Liverpool 2 up against Crystal Palace in the other game. The stats at West Ham, more expected goals to Everton, 0.67 to 0.31. West Ham haven't had any shots on target, but they've had 4 shots off target. Possession is 53% to Everton. So it looks like a tight game over there. But yeah, Aurelio says, I hate this squad. Morgan says this team would really struggle in the Championship. Yeah, but maybe with like 14 of their players not injured the whole season, we'd do better. Rob says, how has that happened after the Brobby error admission? You'd think we'd be getting everything today, but no. Nick in Hong Kong says, Kolo giving the ball away too cheaply. Lots of endeavour, but no end product. Again, that's true. And Barry says, no shots on target sums up this Tottenham squad. Xavi must play further up the pitch to add some more spark. Well, what I would say is it's a very narrow-based game, isn't it? Wolves have played a tight kind of narrow 3-4-2-1. And so there's not that much space for Xavi at the moment. But hopefully, potentially, the game could open up in the second half. But equally, you know, there's as much chances of Wolves hitting us and scoring against us in the break, isn't there? PKD says we are refed differently. I really do agree with that. Gary says, I think we've done okay, but need to create chances and get Xavi in the game more. 1-0 to the Tottenham. I hope you're right. And I don't know if I've read this already, but Sligo Spurs says refs hate Tottenham, full stop. Ralph says, we'll see on Twitter 10 other examples over the season, red cards for less than that. Completely agree. Completely agree. And life imitates chess. If Man United or Liverpool were in this situation, they'd get the red card. I think Spurs being relegated has almost become an agenda. I was talking about that earlier. Stoke asking if I'm muted. Let me know if you can't hear me, guys, but I think you can. Otherwise, more people would be commenting. So maybe it's you muting. Sweep Spurs says, Madders has got to be risked, or he'll be off to Coventry. It's his home club. I think De Zerbi has already said that Madders is not fit enough to play. And Goat says, still haven't got a pen this season. No, of course not. Nick says, Spence looking lively. Give him more service. Yeah, I mean, lively is, I think, strong. But there we go. Just trying to look for what people are saying about that. Here we go. Lily White Lab says, halftime thoughts. Nowhere near enough urgency. I'd agree with that. Get Tell on the pitch to try and inject some personality. Maybe, but maybe not on the right-hand side. Don't know. Porro, he goes on to say, Porro ridiculously wasteful and cheap giveaways under zero pressure. Spence way too lax and casual. I don't mind when he delays things in deep areas, but when he's forward, he needs to show more personality. Kolumwani looking uncomfortable as ever on the right flank. How the hell Andre hasn't been sent off? It's just the story of the season. Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. Spurs need to find a way. They need to find a way in this game. Just Matt asks, is anyone watching the West Ham game? How are they playing? Sweep Spurs says, Madders on YouTube looks super fit. Not just fit, he was weathering 35-yarders. Yeah, but he's not playing any. I don't think Madders is really doing any impact football. Dave asks, is the heat a factor? It shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. Stoke says, why is it that our wing-backs show more promise than our fucking attack? Gary says, that'll be 2 weeks in a row the Prem will make a statement about another player should have been sent off. I just don't understand it. Does anyone follow PGMOL online? Because they'll have to release a statement, won't they? Let me see if I can find PGMOL on Twitter. Doesn't look like they are. So somebody find that, because they'll do a statement. Perry says, all things considered, that's to be the most turgid 45 minutes of football Spurs have shown. With toothless and ineffectual attack and bereft of any game plan, Mouani has been dreadful. Okay, thank you for your comment, Perry. I'm actually going to disagree, because I would say there have been so many games this season where we have played halves like that, except we haven't even had the ball in those halves. At least under De Zerbi, we're having the ball, trying to control the game and trying to move them about, and hopefully that will tire the opposition in the second half. But so many games this season under Frank and Tudor where it's been like we haven't had the ball, we haven't been making chances, but they're just all watching the ball over their heads all the time. So I'm at least happy that with Bentancur there, with Basuma there, hopefully if he stays on, we're trying to turn the ball around corners. We're getting near each other. We're allowing, therefore, Xavi Simons to get on the ball. That's how he's able to play in this away game. He's hardly started any away games all season. And Kolo Muani, he's had a bad, I'd say, second 2/3 of the game, but the first third of the game, he was trying to get in behind. One thing I will say is I think De Zerbi did look frustrated. He looked like he was frustrated with the fact that the Spurs players didn't have the confidence to try things. My fear is they'll only have the confidence to try things if they go 1-0 down. But actually, if we go 1-0 down, as we've shown all season, that doesn't actually lead us to try things. It actually leads us to sit back and just be like, oh, we've lost, we're fucked. So let's see what happens. But all of you guys saying, let Tell come on. You could be right. I do really like Matisse Tell, but I just think he doesn't look as comfortable on the right. He's really uncomfortable on the right, receiving the ball from his own fullback, from Porro, and they can press him really easily and he loses the ball. I like him more on the left, but I agree with Vinyl here, who says Muani does nothing. He's not had a good second 2/3. Sweep Spurs says we have to shoot. We could score an Irish goal. Ricochet, yeah. Yeah, having some shots, I think, would be beneficial. Leighton says we didn't concede in the first 45 minutes. How has everyone missed that stat? Look at the stats of games we've not lost when we haven't conceded in the first half. I hope you're right. I love that positivity, Leighton. Manifesting some positivity. Yeah, that's what we need. And Goat says we haven't got one proper right wing. Well, that's because Kolo Muani's that's because Mohamed Kuda's out for the rest of the season. Gary Riddell, we're in control. It's not that bad. We just need to move Xavi into the 10 and bring Tell onto the left, which would move. That would involve, though, taking Gallagher off. And I think Gallagher's been really good, actually, for us in terms of winning the ball back. Perry says, get Muani off. He's useless on the wing. Spurs have created nothing. If we fail to win this game, we are done. I think that will depend on if we fail to win this game and West Ham were to beat Everton, we'd be done. Tinker Hermanson says, go Spurs. Chandy 418 says, lack of true left or right wingers forwards is painful, all on Langer and Vinay. And injuries, guys. We have to remember the injuries. So many pundits who talk about Spurs forget about the 14 injuries throughout the entire series, 9 of whom, have been first-team players, including Solanke, who's once again injured again. Swoop Spurs says, Tell is coming on. Vito says we need goals, and Stoke says we can win this game. Xavi will get on the end of something. We'll go 1-0 up. It's coming. I hope desperately you're right. Let's see what Swoop Spurs is right. I'm probably a bit delayed. Gary says Kolo Muani off and Gallagher to the right. I mean, if that's happening, what I would just slightly say is we've seen Gallagher picked on the right, and it doesn't really work for him. But I guess he will keep the press in over there. But he's got a good cross on him. I'll say that. Perry says, we're not in control. We've done nothing against a very poor Wolves side. We are in control of the game, mate, in terms of having all the possession, but we just haven't made many chances. Spurs Trek says Sess should have been kept. He's just signed a new contract from Fulham. Well, since he's gone to Fulham, he's hardly been injured. Classic. He was injured for his entire Spurs career. And Russell Brooks says, and to think Colin Muani's going to the World Cup with France. Well, to think Liverpool are interested in buying him. And Mr. John says, Tell coming on. So you guys are obviously quite far ahead of me. Let me see if I can jump anywhere. No, neither of my feeds are up to speed quite yet. Steve Sullivan says, Wolves just sitting off defending the box. Get Muani, Biss off. Graham Bergville on, no creativity. Totally agree about refs. Every game, big calls against us. No, I think Basuma is doing fine. I really do think Basuma and Bentancur are doing well together. Sorry to say that. Okay, I'm going to jump out of the comments for the second half, guys. Spurs are now coming back out. De Zerbi coming back out. He does look a little passive, De Zerbi. And I'll say this again for those of you who don't watch my videos. Yeah, Tell is coming on. I don't agree. I don't believe that De Zerbi doesn't have a relegation release clause. I know they said, I think they had to say that he would be there next year, whatever happens, but I don't believe it. One thing I'll also say, guys, is I will be jumping across after this game to a separate YouTube stream for my post-match reaction. So do stick with me and come across to that stream after the game for that. You'll see it on my YouTube channel. Wolves just holding things up in the tunnel a little bit here. Koku on co-commentary slagging off Spurs' performance so far and talking about how De Zerbi won't be happy with how it's gone so far. I just wonder if that referee has seen that two-footed challenge at half-time and been like, I got that wrong. I really hope he has and tries to level it up. So Tell is coming on for Kolo Muani. Will it be as Gary Riddell suggests? Gallagher moving to the right. Simons to the 10 and Tell on the left. We will see soon enough. I'll let you know when we're kicking off for this second half. Apologies if I'm on a bit of a delay compared to you guys. Spurs kicking from right to left in this half. It does just look like a bit of a malaise about them. They don't look pumped, I have to say. It's Wolves kicking off. We need something from the likes of Richarlison here. Wolves kick off straight to Jose Sarr. He goes long, up over the top of Porro, and Porro doesn't even challenge. He lets the ball come down. Then he tries to clear it. Oh dear. Wolves pick the ball up. And then Gallagher does really well. It looks like it is Tell on the right-hand side. So let's see what happens. Oh my God, and the ref gives the throw the other way. And Tell is just like, why? Wait, they've given a free kick? What's he given a free kick for? Wolves now have a free kick in a dangerous area, but I have no idea why. What is going on? Nobody saw anything in that, and the refs found it from nowhere. Here it comes. In-swinger. I'll tell you what. Just a free header at Armstrong at the front post and thankfully blocked for a corner. Poor marking. And Richarlison blocks it. Gets his body in a good position there. Richarlison. So here comes the corner. Cleared at the front post. Tell doesn't clear the second one. And then Wolves try a ball over the top. It goes all the way over Kinski's goal. Spurs just look a little like slow. Like there's no intensity. And do they not realise? Like, what did they not watch like Forest at Sunderland yesterday and just be like, that's how you play, intensity, bang, 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 bang. But no, there's like this lack of confident malaise. Like we've seen it for so long. Richarlison, oh God, he could have looked like he was going to win the ball there, but he actually lost it. Spurs need to be pressing. Gallagher is trying to get his mates to help him with the press here. But Spurs have started this first couple of minutes of the second half exactly how we ended the first half. Very, very kind of malaisey. Anyway, we're putting the press on now. It goes back to Sarr. He clears it high with his wrong foot. Gallagher wins. Is it Gallagher? I'm not sure who won the first one. But Spurs have got it. It was Porro, actually. And we try and flick a ball over the top to Tell. Got to try and win something here, Tell. Keeps it. Does well. Oh, and then Delino, desperate to put his fucking flag up when the whole ball hadn't gone over the line. West Ham are beating Everton. My fucking God! Souček. Fucking hell. The fans have to try and get it to the players. Tell beats his man on the outside. There's no one in the box, though, and the cross just goes straight to the keeper. The crowd have to get it to the players that West Ham are winning. Because a draw, if West Ham win, they go, you know, that would leave them, if we get a draw, 4 points ahead of them. 4 points ahead of us. Yeah, Souček always scores fucking important goals. Spurs, meanwhile, just fucking malaising it about. Yeah, they're showing the goal now. It's from a corner. Of course it is. Of course it fucking is. Fuck off. Basuma tries a chip ball over the top. It goes straight off. Jed Spence looks like he does not give a fuck. Fucking hell. I'll say it again. I've said it so many times. I first said I thought Spurs are getting relegated 6 months ago, and I was accused of rage bait. I was accused of fucking not knowing football, but I've been watching this team, and when push comes to shove, as the ball comes through, Kinski gets rid of it. When push comes to shove, they cannot handle pressure. They cannot handle adversity. And this game, they are waiting for something to happen against the team who are dead bottom of the league. And Wolves get a cross in. Danso clears it. Benteke couldn't control it. Wolves now putting pressure on Spurs, unbelievably. They're in at the byline here, Wolves. It's a cross to the back stick, cleared by Danso. And Bissouma, in trying to pass it when he could have just got rid of it, loses it. And it's a throw-in to Wolves. Fucking hell. It's almost like Spurs know that West Ham are winning, and as a result, it's put more pressure on them, and they can't even fucking pass it to each other now. Deary fucking me. And the Wolves fans taking the piss out of Spurs. Long throw comes in. First ball cleared. Simons clears the second ball, but there's no one there for Spurs. So Wolves will get it back to Sarr. No, he doesn't go to Sarr. He goes across instead. And Wolves are getting more and more confident in this game. Danso cuts out a through ball. Gallagher with a good little header into Tell on the right, but he's got no help. He needs to, he finds Gallagher well and pops off nicely to Porro, who needs help. He tries what a ball from Porro. Xavi Simons in the box on the left here. Oh, Xavi's done all the hard work. He's cut inside his man, and then he's managed to sky it when it looked easier not to. Oh my God. He'd done the hard work. And actually, do you know what? It's Matt Doherty who gets his foot in the way. Should be a corner. Will it be a corner? Will the ref give a corner? Yeah, they already showed us that, mate. Oh, Basuma's lost the ball in midfield. Gives away a foul. He should get booked, but he didn't even get booked. He didn't. Oh, and the ref brings it all the way back. Of course he does. So West Ham currently 4 points ahead of Spurs as it stands. De Zerbi is looking so pissed off. Gallagher, I'd say, is the only player, and Bentancur, who have really shown intensity today. Everybody else is just jogging about. It really feels like a fucking two teams who are on the beach game. Spurs win it high and then tried to play it. Who was it? Fucking Bissouma. We won it. Tried to play in Richarlison. Can't even find an easy pass. This is shocking from Tottenham this half. Shocking. Well, since the first 15 minutes of the game, actually. It almost feels like, because we didn't score in the first 15 minutes of the game, the air was let out of Spurs, and they're just jogging around here as Wolves come forward. On the left now, Wolves. What is going on here? This is so hard to take. Yeah. Wolves. Little foot in there from Spurs. Little foot in. Spurs might win it here with Richarlison. He does, pops it off, but yes, brilliant from Bentancur. Now we've got to find a pass. He tries too early. Oh, it's a great pass from Gallagher. Richarlison's on his own. He has a shot. What are you fucking doing? What are you fucking doing? Hold it up. Charleston shot when it's not on. Saar goes long. What is going on here? De Zerbi does tend to make subs at 60 minutes of every game, and we're at 54. Oh, Wolves are in at the byline here. Oh, and then it's a fucking stupid foul. Porro. This is a really dangerous area for Wolves. Inside left position, level with the 6-yard box. Porro just was wrong side, and as he tries to run across, he flicks the back of the boot of the Wolves player. And who's getting booked here? Who's getting booked here? It'll be a Spurs player. Looks like it's going to be Xavi Simons, is it? Someone getting booked for something that is way less than a 2-footed challenge, no doubt. Yeah, Spurs are losing their heads. Not for the first time. Has Porro been booked for that? Has Porro been booked for that? When literally a booking went for a 2-footed challenge for a Wolves player just before half-time? Yeah, Porro booked. Fucking piss take. Really dangerous position for this free kick. And of course, Wolves taking their time over it. Winding Spurs up. It's the way to beat Spurs. I just... people will be like, oh, don't blame the refs. Don't blame the refs. But honestly, that fucking 2-footed challenge, man. I just don't get it. Here comes the free kick. It's blocked at the front. Comes to the edge of the box. Wolves just hack it in the air. Here comes the keeper, Kinski. Well done. And he looks for the early flat kick. And Xavi is there. And he brings it down. But he's totally on his own getting to the byline, Xavi. And he won't win that free kick. And Xavi's down. I think he landed on his knee, you know. Oh, he didn't land on him. This could be a bad knee injury for Xavi. Can you fucking believe this? He's writhing in agony. Fuck off! This is a fucking joke. He's in agony. He might have done his fucking ACL. Every creative player that Spurs have doing their ACL. And look who's coming on, fucking Palhinha! One hamstring, one ACL, 57 minutes gone, 2-footed challenge from the opposing player. So he's bringing on Bergvall and Palhinha. Like, what is the fucking deal with this football club? Like, what the fuck did we do? What the fuck did we do to deserve all of these injuries? Honestly. And pundits never fucking mention it. They aside it. They're just like, yeah, they've had some injuries, but it's I honestly, it's in the stars and there's nothing you can do. There is nothing you can do. Oh, and there's Vinay and Langer. Fucking cunts. Simon's got to be careful here. They're trying to let him. I think they're trying to. Gaza tried to play on when he did his ACL in the cup final. Anyway, Spurs down to 10 for now. Spurs continue their absolutely fucking embarrassing tempo of this game. Here comes a cross from Wolves all the way to the back post. Oh, and the cross comes, got big chance over the bar from Wolves. No, Xavi's gone off again. So Xavi tried to come back on. We let him try and come back on. He's gone down again like a sack of spuds. And so when we could have made the fucking substitution, instead we don't. Fucking waste our own time. Yeah, and Okoku says should have been erring on the side of caution. Spurs are going down, man. Spurs are going down. Spurs are going down. You can't get... I've never known injuries anything like this. I've never known injuries anything like it. That's Simons' World Cup over as well. So Basuma off. Who else is coming off then? Because Bergvall and Polini are coming on. Biss and Simons, of course. Sorry, yeah. Bergvall. I'll go into the comments, guys. Matthew says, Barnaby, keep the faith. 25 minutes is a long time in both games. A lot can happen. I hope you're right, mate. "62 minutes gone. Not much has happened in the second half other than Spurs have just shown themselves not to really be willing to work to try and win this fucking game. And, of course, mainly, Simons has done his ACL. And he's kind of refusing to go onto the stretcher, but he's off the pitch. As Polina wins a header. First one we've won for a while, to be honest. Oh, and then horrible pass down the line from Spence. And then an attempted 1-2 with Bergvall. But when they're out wide, Spurs are surrounded by 3 or 4 Wolves players at a time. Efan Okoku saying how Spurs should have taken Simons off straight away. I agree, but it's easier said than done when he's literally your only creative player. As Tell gets up for a header. Richarlison up for the second one, doesn't win it. Danso plows through, and a bit of an awkward one for the Wolves defence. They win the header. Second ball won by Wolves in midfield, and then a foul given away by Kevin Danso in midfield. And Wolves are doing what we've seen teams do against Spurs all season. They may not be winning, but they're doing what all the teams do against us when they are winning. just making it difficult, going down, winning free kicks, taking their time. As Tell pops it round the corner to Porro, and Porro can't even trap the ball and it goes off for a throw. This performance today is akin to all the reasons why everyone I speak to who supports another club says, after playing Spurs, you are rubbish. Why are you so rubbish? And it's true, as the high ball comes over the top of Porro, wins the first one. That drops to Bentancur, gives it to Polinia, who actually passes it kind of forward, but more sideways to Gallagher, who goes outside him to Tell. Tries to beat his man on the outside, does win a throw in, but he goes down injured. He's been stamped on there. Wolves fans taking the piss out of Spurs here. Spurs try and dink one over the top to Richarlison, but that's easily dealt with. And no one was trying to come for the second ball. But Bergvall does show some fucking tenacity there. And then Tell plays a fucking horrible pass. Oh, and then Van der Ven has just let Danso deal with something that he really shouldn't have done. And Kinski has had to fucking save his ass. And then Bentancur will be booked for that challenge. What is Van der Ven doing there? Van der Ven is the one with the pace. He's just given up. What the fuck is the captain doing? It's a long ball over the top, and Van der Ven's just like, oh, you can deal with that, mate. Van der Ven's the one with the pace. So then Danso tries to head it back to Kinski, who does really well. And then Bentancur gives away a free kick in, about 35, 38 yards out. Spurs very nearly concede. What is Van der Ven playing at? He's just kind of they're all struck with this confidence malaise where just like, oh, pass it on. It's not, I don't know if that's confidence, like it's a responsibility malaise. Bentancur, of course, booked. Wolves are going to win this game if it carries on like this. I saw enough in the game from De Zerbi's team last week against Brighton to think they would not play like this. And they've just pulled out another performance like we've seen so many times this season. Bueno's going to have a dig here. Looks too far out. Spurs better follow up the second one. Here it is. It's only just over, Tried to find the stanchion. Kinski was running across, but you can see Wolves growing in confidence. It's a great effort from Bueno, just over the stanchion. 66 minutes gone. Spurs have not made a chance. Just shocking. Shocking. Kinski playing it short to Danso. Needs an option. Gives it to Porro. Gallagher's made a little run for him. That's good. Can he get the touch? Gallagher, no, he can't, unfortunately. Wolves win it back. Gallagher is still working hard, though, off the ball. And that should be a Spurs throw. Well done, Conor Gallagher. He's the only one who's actually showing a bit of fucking desire here. Gonna make a note of it. Never have you watched a team look so much like they haven't won in a calendar year. Ball comes over the top. Jed Spence in the box there. Anyway, brings the ball back to Bentancur. Beats his man once. Spence just fucking makes an idiotic decision and then wins the ball back but kicks it off for a throw-in. Fucking hell, we are fucking shit. It's almost like in the week in between games, I find a way to forget just how fucking awful we are. Fucking horrible. Wolves growing in confidence. They're like, we're better than these. And they are. Bentancur opens the ball out to Porro. He's got to get there, and he does. Pops it into Tell. He's got a bit of space in the 10 position. Opens out. Might as well have a dig. Why not? Deflected, and that's what we need. One of those fucking deflections to go in. But at least he had a fucking shot. That's what we would need. One of those to actually go in. Come on, set piece. We need something to go our way. Nothing going our way. 2 injuries. A 2-footed challenge from the opposition. And Spurs just somehow taking their time over this. What is Porro doing? Fucking taking his time over it. 22 minutes to go, mate. You fuckwit. All right, it's going to be Tell taking the outswinger. Don't foul anyone. Here it comes. Oh, Bentancur made him make a save. Oh, it's a great header from Bentancur. And somehow the offside flags come out. Beautiful header. It's a good save. Fuck's sake. And of course, the rebound. I guess he would have been offside. It was a brilliant one-handed save. Brilliant one-handed save. Because he was only about 7 yards out and he really gets the meat behind the header. Yeah, easily Tottenham's best chance of what has been a fucking embarrassing second half, especially, I'd say. Where you would have thought they really need to turn it up. And actually, they've managed to kind of draw Wolves on and make Wolves believe in themselves more. But the referee as well, my God. So Wolves play it down the line. Van der Ven wins the first one. Gallagher still working his nuts off in the press. Yeah, he's pointing to Tell to help him out in the press there. And Tell just half-arsed. Fuck's sake. And Wolves have found the ball down the line. Danso gets it out. 20 minutes to go. Wolves 0, Spurs 0. Meanwhile, West Ham beating Everton 1-0 at the London Stadium. Wolves about to make a sub. And Polina is working hard on the press. Good to see it. Goes back to Sarr. Nobody else. Tell is so fucking late on the press, you would not believe it. You would not believe how late on the press Tell is. And that's, I think, why he doesn't get picked. Tell loses the ball. He's pressing. That should be a Spurs throw. That should be a Spurs. Oh my fucking God. Porro wins it. Well done. And then he's fouled. But the ref hasn't given it. Jesus. Tell tries to play it. Richarlison does well. No, that wasn't a foul. Richarlison dived on the floor before the player had even got there. They're nearly in down the left there, down the right there, Wolves. But Bentancur manages to find Kinski, who finds an odd ball back to Bentancur. And the Wolves fans are just taking the piss out of Spurs. Almost like reverse Olaying Spurs. Come on. Let it make it wind you up, Spurs players. Come on. Where's Bergvall playing? Down the left? Oh, bad foul from Spence. Like a bit of a high foot. He's got to do something again, I think, here. How many subs have we made? Oh, he's lucky, Spence. If he'd collected with the leg there, that high would have been sent off. Bergvall's passing a note around now. Who's he passing it to? Polina. Probably saying, stop passing it backwards, you prick. Who's he passing? He's passing it to Tell. Fucking... Less than 20 minutes left, potentially, of Tottenham's Premier League season. If we go 4 points behind, West Ham will be on 36 points. They'd only really need another win to guarantee it, I think. 39, I think, is going to do it. 39, 40, definitely. Wolves just stronger in the 50-50s here, you know. Oh, and Spence just turning away. What is he doing? Kinski manages to clear it. Spurs just nowhere near the fucking level this half. And Porro tried to play a ball to Spence there, not to Tell. Not even realising there was a fucking... Oh, and that's horrible from Polinia. Oh, it's Gallagher. Gallagher slid in for miles out. I think he pulls his feet out in the end, probably. Oh, it's pretty strong. It's body on body. Gallagher gets booked. Spurs have not tried to play any fucking attacking football in this game. Really. Not been able to. They've just been sucked into this fucking drudgery, man. 75 minutes gone, and Wolves are looking way more likely to score than Spurs. Bergvall gives away a free kick. I said it a few minutes ago, didn't I? This is just what teams know exactly what to do against Spurs. Just dive on the floor, take the time. And actually, Wolves were taking that free kick early. And they've got a cross in all the way to the back here, Wolves. Jesus Christ. Bueno. He beats Porro. Cross comes in. Flick to the near post. Kinski should be able to claim that. They're afraid. Tottenham are afraid. They're full of fear. They're afraid to play football as Kinski just whacks it high up towards Tell. What's he supposed to do with that? They are afraid to play football, and that's why Tottenham are getting relegated. Spurs are afraid to play football. Just going backwards. Van der Ven, you have the captain's armband on. You've got to try and make something happen here, mate. You've got to communicate with this fucking team. Bentancur finding himself out on the left touchline. Jesus Christ. If you're a Wolves fan watching this, you're like, these are the worst team that have come here this season. Tell pops one down the right-hand side. To Porro, can't find any pass. And Spurs are going to try the fucking long throw for probably, what, the 95th time this season. We haven't scored a single goal. Spurs fans trying desperately to do something for the team, but what a time this would be for Danso's long throw to finally come up with a goal. But no, it's cleared. And it comes out to Danso. How's your crossing, Kev? Loads up, straight up on the keeper. Straight up on the keeper. Fucking shit is the answer. And of course, Richarlison fouled him. And of course, the keeper is just going to pretend to be injured. Yeah. And Okoku says it in Kokom's, the obligatory fall to ground. So cut to Langer and Vino Venkatesham again. Can you believe we lost Solanke and Simons injured? So this probably for the rest of the season in this game as well. Like, we're going to have to play these cunts in the Championship next season. Probably lose 6 points to them there as well. Jose Sarr's time wasting. Something else. Wolves fans are just loving exactly what I said earlier. Just the narrative that every group of fans wants Spurs to go down. As Polinia loses the ball on the edge of the box. Big chance, Wolves. Shot blocked by Van der Ven. And Spurs managed to clear it a little bit. Richarlison gets a foot on it. Polinia somehow pulls out. And then, so Wolves are in again. In the box. Cross. Oh, huge chance for Armstrong. Jesus fucking Christ. Heads it over the bar. He had to get his own pace on it, so he heads it over, but it's just wide and over. But if that's on target, I don't think Kinski's getting anywhere near it. Kinski has the ball at his feet now, pops into Polini, who of course can't take it on the half turn, the useless fuckwit. Kinski now bringing it out of his own box, goes long. Spence actually won the first one there, and Richarlison gets involved. Good lad, but of course, because he's on the left flank now, there's no one in the box. Tries to beat his man, loses it. Wolves clear. Come on, Spurs. They've just got to get hold of the ball somehow. Comes to Polinia. Plays the ball outside him to Porro. Gallagher's actually made a run into the box here. It's a good cross back stick. Oh, it's great defending. Spence keeps it on. Great defending. Ball comes into the box. Edge of the box now. Bentancur pops it back to Spence. Bergvall's made a little run for him. I think Bergvall's offside. And now the fucking line. Oh my God. That was great defending. Of course, it's Matt Doherty. Takes the ball off Richarlison, who's going to head it in at the back post. It's actually a great cross from Porro. Oh my God. And how is he then called for an offside? He's called for an offside for the next phase where Spence was behind Richarlison. Just honestly. Missed the whole whatever happened next, but Spurs have a goal kick. 80 minutes gone. They get the ball out wide to Bentancur, who plays a poor pass down the line. Bentancur seems to be on the left a little bit here for Spurs. Bizarre. Gallagher, oh no, it's Polinia, more central. Tries the big diag out wide right to Tell, who gets his body in the way, but doesn't manage to keep the ball on. Oh, he does manage to keep the ball on. Well done at the byline, Tell. Now, oh, he's done really well. He's at the byline. Can he cut it back? Wins a corner. Well done, Tell. Does really well there, Tell. Come on. Made a chance from the last one with Bentancur. Come on. Should be another delivery from Tell. Outswinger. That's Porro this time. Comes to Richarlison's feet. We've scored, but is it going to be VAR? It's Polinia. I can't celebrate because this is the fucking Premier League, but he's gone into the crowd. Don't go into the crowd. Don't go into the crowd, you fuck. Don't go into the crowd. I'm not celebrating. I'm not celebrating. But Polinia scored at the back stick, but is it going to be disallowed? They're saying it's off. They're saying it's tight. You know they'll find a way to disallow this. So here it comes. Comes to Richarlison's feet. He gets a shot. Oh, he looks on to me. I think it's Matt Doherty. He looks on to me, you know. He looks on to me. I don't think Doherty gets out quick enough. And it's Polinia at the back post who I've just been slagging off. That looks on to me. And if it is on, it's because Doherty has kept him on. You know they're going to get the fucking lines out here. I'm not fully celebrating until... Goal given! Please. Now, please, Tottenham. Please. Please. He jumped into the fans, but it wasn't as big a celebration. And De Zerbi loves it. I'm shaking. But Spurs have to find a way to be smart here. Now, 7 minutes left. Plus, you know they'll find some fucking added time. Absolutely undeserved, that goal. Absolutely undeserved. But Tell won that corner. And he's just won the ball then again. He's turned his man down the right. Go on, win something. And he's lost the ball. Spurs have to be strong here. Gallagher does well. Gallagher's had a good game. Oh, freaked out there. I thought Wolves were in, but I forgot I was shooting a different way. Okay, long ball from Sarr. Danso underneath it. Wins the first one. Spurs second to the second ball. Gallagher wrong side. And then a free kick. That's really good midfield work. Good little touch in there from Pelini, but the second ball falls to Wolves. Everton have equalised at West Ham. Come on! Come on! Come on! Fucking hell. Come on, Spurs. Come on, Spurs. They're already fucking starting to sit back. Don't sit back. Get on the ball. Come on. Keenan Dewsbury Hall has equalised for Everton. Do not VAR that. Fucking hell. Oh, they've played Wolves in down the line. They're out wide. Good defending. Keep it on. Bentiker thinks it's a goal kick. Come on. Come on. I think we've all realised now that I am not designed for a relegation battle. I cannot handle this shit. Doherty goes off. Actually shaking. Assist from Tarkowski, and that's in the 88th minute. Go on, Everton. Get another one. Get another one, Everton. Yeah, they're just showing it now. They get the ball out wide left. Cross comes in. Comes about the penalty spot. Roofs it. Well done, Keenan Dewsbury Hall, whatever your name is. Oh, God, I fucking can't bear this. By the way, guys, just a reminder, after this game, I'll be doing my live post-match reaction on the post-match reaction feed on my stream. So come and join me over there. Wolves 0, Tottenham 1, Pelini with a second phase goal from a corner just a few minutes ago. But Spurs now sitting back as they did against Brighton. We need another one as Porro plays it down the line to Tell. Cutting inside. He needs to find his man. Porro takes it on. Gets to the byline. Is anyone in the box? Oh, Sarr has to make a save. Comes to Tell in the box again. Tries to keep it. Well done, Matisse Tell. Now just pop it off. Pop it off. Well done. Gives it back to Gallagher. Now Spurs need to start playing football again like they did in the first 15 minutes here. Oh no, terrible attempted turn there from Porro when there was a man on him. And Wolves clear it out for a Spurs throw. Spurs fans are loud. It was a deflected cross from Porro that Sarr had to save. Richarlison trying to keep the ball in the corner. It's a bit early for that, Rishi, mate. They'll give a foul against him, surely. They haven't yet. This is fucking ugly shit in the corner here. But Tell has kept it somehow, but he's surrounded by Wolves players. Richarlison tries to win it back. Gallagher does win it back. But don't take it in the corner, lads. It's fucking 86 minutes. Gallagher turns away. Then it comes down the line again. And Wolves clear it. Bentico gets it off the pitch. 87 minutes gone. They'll find at least... Well, don't forget, Xavi was down, so they'll find at least 6 minutes. And the Spurs fans have just seen that West Ham have been equalised against. Spurs have to learn from last week against Brighton and try and keep the fucking football. At the moment, they're too intent on just taking it to the corner, I think. Keep the football, move Wolves around, pop it about. They're bringing Dragishin on. He's on the sidelines. Spurs fans are loud. Wolves have it in their own box. Rishi, come on, keep working. Come on. Keeper's going long. Here he goes. Oh, we didn't challenge for the first ball. Or the second ball there. Jesus Christ. Ball falls to Gallagher. Pulls out. Van der Ven's on the floor. Jesus, Wolves bringing it wide left. Cross coming in from Bueno. It's going to come to the back post. Spence gets the first one. Needs help here. He's pushed off it there, Spence. Ref doesn't give it. Free cross to Wolves. Popped up into Kinski's arms. West Ham have scored. Fuck! Fuck! VAR it. Fucking turn it. Round 92nd minute, West Ham have scored the winner. Fucking hell. Van der Ven wins a header, but second ball falls to Wolves. Fuck's sake. And here come Wolves. Down the right. Someone's got to stop the cross. Stop the cross. Well done. Spence, but it's fallen to them at the byline. And then it looks like he fouls his man. Comes to Wolves on the edge of the box. Well cleared. Please disallow that fucking goal. Callum fucking Wilson. Fuck off. Fucking scored the last minute winner against us. '90th minute here. Don't forget, Spurs have not won a game this calendar year, and they're just sitting on their fucking 18-yard line. Great block down the line from Jed Spence, but he's got to turn and face now. They're showing this goal from West Ham. A cross comes in. It breaks to Callum Wilson like 3 yards out. What are Everton doing there? Jesus fucking Christ. Wolves now getting the ball out wide. Chance has a shot miles over. The West Ham fans going absolutely crazy. Fuck off. Seven added minutes. Are you fucking serious? Oh, Okoku thinks it's small. It was 7 against Brighton, and I think they scored in the fucking 5th added one. Gallagher coming off. He's had a great game. No, other way round. Defender on for midfielder. That Everton-West Ham game seems to be ahead of us as well, because that was the 92nd minute that they fucking scored their winner. Kinski. The Spurs going long again here. We've shown all season that we don't know how to play this way. So, you know, any normal team, you'd be like, yeah, that's what you do in the last 10 minutes of games where you're winning. But Spurs don't know how to do it. They're just panicking. They're fucking panicking, and there's going to be 6 more minutes of this panic. But Jed Spence gets a foot in and finds a good pass to Rishi, who opens it out to Tell. Now run it into the corner, Tell. Drive forward. You got a man on you. He just runs into fucking bodies. And then gives away a foul. This is just my opinion, and maybe you disagree with me. But keep the fucking ball and make the opposition move around. Oh, Wolves are in down the left in him behind Porro, who does find it short one to Dragosine, who clears. Up towards Tell. Holds it up beautifully, Matisse Tell. Now he's got to find an option. Win a free kick. Well done, Matisse Tell. Fucking well done. Well done, Matisse Tell. He's made the difference here. But we have to keep this fucking football. You know there's going to be a chance. I feel exactly the same as I did against Brighton last week. You know there's going to be a chance. How many vital goals has Polina scored for us this season? Jesus. Yeah, he was onside quite easily in the end. And Okoku's called it lazy defending from Matt Doherty. He'd had a great game, Doherty, fucking getting everything in the way of us. Four and a quarter minutes to go. Come on, Spurs. Come on. Kinski goes long. Up towards Richarlison. Tries to hold it up to Tell. Does well. Tell turns. Tries to beat his man down. Does a little pirouette. And wins a goal kick. Wins a throw-in. Well done, Matisse Tell. Usually Danso would come across here, but they're just taking their time over it, as you'd expect. It's not been a great performance, but all that matters is the win if we can get it. But they've got to play smart here. As Bentancur tries to keep in the corner, then he turns away. He's kicked. Well done. He feels the touch and goes down, Bentancur. He's had a brilliant game, Bentancur. Brilliant game. I mean, certainly in comparison to the rest, but it's Gallagher and Bentancur for me. If we do get across the line here, it's been because of them. But how the fuck? Oh, don't even think about going forward, because without Solanke and Simons, Jesus fucking Christ, literally a team and a squad with zero creative options take two more of their creative options out by injury. Anyway, Tell shows for Porro down the right. Bentancur's made a run for him. Doesn't look for him. He's got to keep it here, Tell. Pops it off to Bentancur. Gives it back to Porro. Can we open this out and find some opportunity to play football here? Porro gives it to Danso, who just kicks it straight to the goalkeeper. That's panic. That is panic. Anyway, Bergvall working hard to press as Sarr tried to play it down the sides. Richarlison working hard to press as well. Good lads. Good lads. Come on, keep going, boys. Keep going. It's the panic that I'm most afraid of as and when it comes into our final third. And here comes the long ball. Oh, my God. Huge ball in between the lines into midfield. There's so much time and space. And Dragusin does brilliantly there. How did the midfield get so much space there? Bergvall tries to drive forward and he's fouled. Brilliant from Lucas Bergvall. 2 minutes left and Bergvall goes down, holding his face. I've got to assume that West Ham, that's a booking for Wolves. I've got to assume West Ham have won. Actually, I can't look at it, can I? Because I'm a bit delayed. Brilliant from Bergvall, driving forward. He's actually fucking elbowed in the face. He's elbowed in the fucking throat. Jesus, this fucking referee, man. 1.5 minutes left. Gomez gets booked for that. He's had a good game, to be fair, but he's elbowed a couple of people in the face. Don't forget, guys, I'm going to be moving across to my other feed for the post-match review. Come and join me there, starting as soon as after the game as I can. The Spurs have a free kick. Danso with 1.25 minutes left. Danso chips it up to the corner. And this is a time where I probably would be tempted to run it into the corner flag if I'm Spurs. And Richarlison presses them into the corner. Oh, Wolves actually play some nice stuff to find a way out and play it long down the channel. Dragusin gets ahead on that brilliantly. And who's this? Van der Ven plays a short ball into Bentancur. Give it back to Van der Ven and now you go channel, mate. And he does. He goes long down the channel. Good ball from Van der Ven for Rishi. Now you hold this in the corner, Rishi. You hold this in the corner. Oh, he's just fucking barged over shoulders. But he's won it. He's in the box. That should be a penalty. He's given it the other way. Can you believe that? Jesus! He got wrong side of his man in the box. These refs. How is that possibly a foul to Wolves? Flick on. Wolves now. Wolves now are in. And Spurs have given away a free kick outside the box with 10 seconds to go. And Spurs get a man booked when he's just fouled Richarlison in the box. And they're going to have a shot at goal from Bueno. Last kick of the game. And he nearly scored a free kick fucking earlier. I cannot believe this. That referee. Fucking unbelievable. It was a... This is a huge chance for Wolves. This is basically going to be the last kick of the game. Well, I thought it would be Bueno. Has Bueno been taken off? Because Bueno nearly scored from a free kick earlier. Oh my God. You lot, I think, will know what's happened already. It's 28 yards, I'd say. Oh my God. It's the substitute. I don't know his name. And this is the last kick of the game. And only Tottenham could this happen to. Here it comes. What a save from Kinski. What a save from Kinski from the top corner. Wow. It's a corner, but the ref should be blowing up. That should be the last kick of the game. It's in the top corner. Great save. Now, got to survive this corner. Fucking hell. Think of the pressure on him. Now the goalkeeper's up. Here comes the corner. Cleared. Ref. Yes! fucking hell! The first win for Tottenham in the fucking calendar year. West Ham won as well, but you can only do what you do. And my God, were Tottenham absolutely fucking appalling today, but it doesn't matter. And you've got to give credit to Kinski. You've got to give credit to Kinski for that last-minute save. But we're still in it somehow. I'm going to move over to my other stream, guys. I'll see you for the post-match reaction. Come on, you Spurs.
Get yourself to okjersey.com where you can buy all the best football shirts around, including the amazing vintage Spurs tops I wear on this channel. But I think the Spurs shirt you'll really want is, of course, the absolutely magnificent Tottenham 1901 FA Cup winners 125-year anniversary top, available in both short and long sleeve. And as if that wasn't enough, if you go onto their website and like the look of one of their shirts, choose your size, get your name and a number on the back or the Champions League badge on the sleeve as well if you're that way inclined, then go to checkout, type the word BARN into the coupon section. That's BARN as in short for Barnaby. And when you do, you'll get 8% off your purchase. Get yourself to okjersey.com, or if you're too